Press.
We are Gathering with the Geeks, a podcast and a YouTube show built around the things we as geeks all love. Hashtag we gather on Sundays. Thank you for checking out the one with the most hustle and the most bustle. I'm one of your hosts, Emmet, and I'm joined by the Ted Lasso and my coach beard, Chris Evans. Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Gathering with the Geeks, it's available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All you have to do is search for Gathering with the Geeks, and you will find us right there. Cookie, what's up on this fine Sunday evening? Are you prepared? Have you watched the Yellowstone season/series finale yet? Because I'm going to watch it right after our
Everybody else dies.
show. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
Everybody is dead. The entire
Everybody's
cast,
dead.
they all just died in a field of farmer stuff.
Field of cow and
Cow
horses.
in Yellowstone,
Yeah, that's right. All those Yellowstones.
Montana.
Chris, you summed up the show perfectly just then. Nice job.
I think that I do what I do very well. And that is summing up the shows I have
Some
not
kind of
watched.
bullshit is what Chris Evans does.
It's what I do. Hey, Eric. Cookie said not yet. I'm nervous.
There you go.
I mean,
Chris, how are you managing the hustle and the bustle?
I'm not.
Got 9 days till Christmas. It's a very busy time in everyone's lives. How are you? I know, Cookie, I know you went out recently and had to do some hustle and bustle and interact with people. Chris, how are you doing with the hustle and the bustle?
You know, so I generally do most of my shopping before December 1st to avoid the hustle and bustle. But even though I enjoy being in stores and stuff, I actually like the environment, which probably makes me a sociopath. I'm not sure. But I think there's another word for it. I don't know. But I enjoy it. But I did the bulk of the shopping before the 1st, and I ordered some stuff after, which is pretty simple. But now I'm realizing that I'm still just doing a lot of stuff, not even related to shopping.
Right.
I'm just out, and I don't want to be. And that's where I'm at with it. You know.
Yeah, well, we talked about this last week about how I try and get my shopping done online. And my wife and I, we went out this weekend, and you're right. Aside from the Christmas time and the Christmas shopping, there's also regular life to do as well, which always gets in the way. So it's like double duty this time of year for people's anxiety, their stress levels. So yeah, everyone I think deserves a drink and a nice cool, a nice calm breath, and make like Phil and just watch some Christmas movies. Watch The Grinch. We watched The Grinch today, although we watched the cartoon one. But yeah, everyone just take some time for themselves and regular. Yeah, everyone needs to be calm about the hustle and bustle and try to avoid it as much as possible. That's what I say.
Does anybody want to buy a Shih Tzu? What?
See, regular life is getting in the way, Chris.
I don't know what the hell she's going nuts about.
Too funny. There you go. Cookie will take her. You got to take her. She's all yours, Cookie.
I will get you a box with holes, and she is yours.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be like Christmas Vacation with the cat in the box. Just
She loves Fruit Loops, so just keep a lot of those on hand.
Goodness.
Anyway.
Yeah. How do we move on from that, Chris? Let's move on from that, will you?
You know, it was really funny the other night.
All right. Uh-huh.
So my daughter got some kind of stomach bug.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid throws up all over the floor, the wall, and the bathroom door. Go figure. The
Mm-hmm.
dog comes running to eat it.
Oh, beautiful.
So again, anybody wants, I'll get her ready to go for a cookie. But if she doesn't want, like, there's no take backs here, no returns.
Yeah, yeah, no returns.
And she's back. The dog is back.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
All right, Chris. Let's.
She is helpful. That hey, you're on my Dracula box.
See, now it's getting serious. Not
Yeah.
Dracula.
You don't touch the Dracula box. Come on. Anyway.
All right, Chris, what'd you get up to this week? I will preface to say that I didn't read a single book this week, so it's
I
all
read
on
more
you.
than you.
You did, yeah. So
What
have at her.
happened? Well, I read 2 books, so I have read more than you.
That's good.
I read the new Laura Kinney Wolverine book from Erica Schultz. That was fun, but it's really like it's self-contained, which is cool, but it's very fast-paced. It's like a single adventure, and it's really quick. And it also involves globetrotting, so it's kind of interesting that they packed it all into one book. She has to go to Dubai on kind of a personal mission to help somebody. It introduces a few new characters. We see a Morlock, which I always enjoy. I don't know. I have a soft spot for the Morlocks, even though they're essentially like they're mutant bums. That's what they are.
Hobos, exactly.
They're mutant hobos, but I love the Morlocks. So I like seeing that. There was the one that they show. The one's featured like shoots acid out of her hands. I was like, that is amazing. And I don't think she's ever been used anything else before, so that was pretty cool. It also had Miss Marvel, Kamala. She's in it. There's another character I didn't recognize. I'm guessing from the Nyx comic that I didn't read. But
so there's a lot of you need a lot of prior knowledge for this one.
No, but it does feel very much like you probably should know what happened in Krakoa, but you don't need to. More so, I would just like to know who the other character was because I just could not place her.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure if I would have read Nyx, she was there, but I didn't want to read that.
Was Laura in Nyx? Was that her book?
Yeah, that was her book. That was her and Kamala's book. They were like a team or something with this other character. And that's what it was. But like all the X-Men books now, they keep referencing the end of Krakoa.
Right.
You know, Charles Xavier is gone, and I finally know what happened to Charles, and he is a horrible human or mutant, I suppose. He deserves his fate. Oh, I'm with the group that says Xavier sucks now.
That's a thing?
That's a thing. People have hated Charles Xavier for a long time, and I never really understood why. Like, I get it. Like, okay, maybe you just don't like him. He makes questionable choices. He does certain things. I get that. This was a little too far. This is where we draw the line. Sorry, Chuck.
Sorry, Chuck.
You get what you get, Chuck.
Nice.
And so that was but that was a good one. I like that one. It was pretty entertaining. I think I will keep up with it. Plus more Wolverine's not bad for me. Also, Eric said, "Don't touch the Dracula box." Also known as his coffin. No, I literally mean my Dracula box. I literally mean the Dracula box.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, don't touch it. Leave it alone.
And
so I read
back.
that. Yeah, leave it alone. I read that, and
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you I was trying to finish this before we started, but it's just very long. It's called The City Beneath Our
Mm-hmm.
Feet by James Tynan, and I like this
Mm-hmm.
one a lot. I don't know what's a spoiler and what's not, but essentially it's about a writer who comes in contact with who I think is an assassin. I think that's what she
Right.
is. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really quirky. The art is fun, and I think it's got some good humor in it. You just sit here with me. Let's do that. There's some good humor in it, and it's fun. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Tynan's really good with dialogue. That's kind of I think his strong suit,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
and he really excels on this one.
I bought that one. It's at my comic shop in the whole box. Definitely something that I want to read. It's got um, a lot of creators that I love in certain senses. So it's Tynan, which I like. Elsa Chartier. I'm not. I haven't read too much of what they've done, but it's got Jordi Belair
Mm-hmm.
on colors.
Yeah,
Is also I'm a big fan. Jordi's
yeah,
one of my
Jordy's
favorite
always good.
colorist. So yeah, it's got a lot of going for it, and I almost buy every distillery book now.
Do you?
Kind of yeah, I missed a couple, but I almost buy every single one. Just kind of I don't know, out of like reverse spite, and whatever the reverse of spite is. You know how you do something just because.
Unspite?
Uh, yeah, what's the reverse of sprite? Of sprite,
The reverse of
um,
Sprite is Coke, I
reverse of
believe.
sprites. Yes, or 7 Up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm really excited to read it. And yeah, and it's something about like they had a relationship in the past, and then they get kind of reintroduced to each other. And
Mm.
the no, I read the whatchamacallit, the
The whatchamacallit's lying.
uh, yeah. Well, that happens. The
I
whatchamacallit does
mean,
lie.
time does pass in it from what I didn't get to finish. I'm probably like a few pages from the ending, but
Okay.
time does pass. So maybe that's
Hmm.
where you got lines crossed there.
Sure, sure.
But it's a really pretty book. It's funny and it's kind of a cool story.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot. The city beneath their feet, and like I said, Tynan is really just great with dialogue,
Hmm.
and I think this is one of those books that he excels with. Also, there's a Stephen King reference which fans will enjoy,
I was going to
or a
say
few of
that
those.
that sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think maybe Tynan might be a Stephen King fan now that I think about it,
Hmm.
judging by the one of the characters in this and the way his horror usually comes around is kind of
Right.
like Stephen King stuff.
Hmm.
So that kind of tracks, I think.
Okay.
Maybe
That
he
sounds
has the
good
the
to
Monster
me.
Squad Stephen King rules T-shirt.
He probably does.
I mean, I would have that shirt too.
If you
If
could.
I thought Stephen King ruled, I would.
You don't like Stephen King?
I don't hate Stephen King, but
Yeah.
I don't need Stephen King.
You know, I don't need him.
I don't need him, but I
I
mean,
like
he's
that better.
okay. I like
Uh-huh.
Christine. That's a good one.
There you go.
So that's all I
Um,
read.
yeah, and like I said, I didn't read a single one this week. There's going to be some good ones next week, though, that I'm excited for.
Like what other than
Absolute,
Absolute?
yeah, Absolute Batman #3 next week. Wonder Woman 16, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #5, Batman and Robin Year One #3. Mm, yeah, so some good ones for the pre Christmas. Also, one of the I think it's the last issue of Spectrograph is next
Is it?
week.
That's cool.
So yeah, so that'll be good. More
That's why
Tynan and
he ends one and he
lovely
starts.
Christian Ward. That's yeah, it's never ending is what it is.
I am not mad at it. His stuff is it's been pretty good recently. I think.
Yeah, he's been doing very well with his post Batman stuff.
Well, even his pre-Batman stuff was good. We just didn't know about it.
Mhm. Yeah, fair enough.
He's
Yeah,
consistent.
that's
That's
true.
a good. I'd say he's very consistent.
Hmm.
You know what, and this might be blasphemous. I would like to see him have another crack at Batman.
Yeah, well, and we've been saying about this for a long time about going back and trying to reread it too, maybe just to see.
Oh, I don't want to do that, but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that
I feel like I do. Aside from knowing that I hate the Ghostmaker stuff, I still do want to try and see if it reads any better for me, because I know the Ghostmaker stuff won't. But just wonder about the, because they're not going away from. Well, maybe they will, I guess, when Zdarsky's done, but they're not going away from what Tynion did in
yeah, they
his
are.
Batman run.
Well, I
Are
mean,
they?
Bruce has money again. He's not poor anymore.
That's true.
He does have his hand back, and I want to say that the Joker might have two eyes again. So
Oh,
his
that was
real
in.
eye.
Did that happen in his solo book?
Well,
Was that in the
he
solo book?
lost the eye in the Tynan book, and then he got it back.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But yes, the stuff. I mean, Alfred's still dead, but that was a King thing. Oh yeah, okay,
Yes.
yeah. So the stuff in Tynan's book was the money that's
Mm-hmm.
fixed, and I think that was like the biggest change, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, just the creation of the Ghostmaker character, which was Tynion's, and then the stuff with Joker, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, Joker
Which
knows
we
who he is.
haven't seen Joker since then.
I don't think he's been in the main book. No,
Yeah.
he's been in other stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd like to see him try it again without the constraints, because
Mm-hmm.
now we kind of know that was not really the way he wanted everything to unfold. It just happened
Right.
that way.
Yep.
I don't know. Hey,
Hey,
Dave,
Zeddy.
you are excited. I'm excited for you. Cookie said Doll Parts was an interesting read. Is this the sequel to that other book that you guys liked?
Yeah, that one's the Love Sick. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
is that the sequel to it?
Yeah, from what I understand, this a prequel sequel. I think Cookie, if that's correct. I read the first issue of Love Sick, and that was it for me. What that wasn't my
Yeah, I
bag.
remember.
They say.
Yeah, it was. You did not enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay, it is a
prequel. Yeah.
prequel. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll check.
From Cookie tweeted about it, about the doll parts, and I think, I don't know, I won't paraphrase, but check out, she has some thoughts about it on her Twitter. You guys should all um, check out her Twitter, and she kind of gives a mini review for doll parts on there.
Look at that. I think I missed that. I haven't been on Twitter a lot this week.
Bizet.
Yeah, so I haven't been around, but I'll check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday main event right here for Saturday. Cheers to the Tin Man. I think we missed some other fun comments. Are we at the threshold of hell?
More
What
about
was
your
that?
dog.
Oh,
Your dog.
could be worse. Could have a circus gang raining terror while shopping for Christmas. We don't know. That's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. Okay, I think that was all this stuff.
All right, so what'd you watch? Get some Christmas stuff. I don't know if you watched anything new.
I did.
So what'd you get up to?
I did, but you go first because you didn't have any reads.
Yeah. Okay. So I will start with Carry On. Netflix. Everyone's talking about it. Zeddy's talking about it. It's on Netflix. Yeah, thank you. It's got Taron Egerton in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Jason Bateman in it. It's like a new age Die Hard kind of deal about a guy who works at a baggage check area at an airport, and he kind of gets wrangled into a terrorist plot that's happening at an airport, and he has to solve the crime and save the day. We talked about Taron Egerton when we were talking about Blackbird.
Yeah.
And in this one, he plays the action star, which was fun because he plays an action star very, very well. He does a lot of running in the movie, and he looks good doing it. He's
So
one of
not
those
like
good
Tom Cruise
runners.
running.
Yeah, it's not. Tom Cruise is like the perfect runner. Like he's got technique down. Like he's got the
He looks like a
arms.
toy.
Yeah, that's right. He's got no sudden movements. But Taron Egerton's got that like aggressive action star run that I really appreciated.
Oh, that '80s run.
Exactly, and that's what the movie is. It's like a throwback. So Taron Egerton's great in it. Good. I think he could be a good action star going forward. But one of the things that I'm a, I don't know what to say, a mild Jason Bateman fan. I'm more of a Jason Bateman director fan. Like I like his work that he did with Ozark in directing, also acting in that as well. But I like he directed the first, I think it was the first two, maybe just the first episode of the HBO show Outsider, which is very good. I really like his directing style. But in this, he plays the villain, which is always fun because he's kind of like Mr. Happy. Like he feels like he's just always a happy guy in any of his movies and in real life. So it's cool to see him as a villain. So I had a great time with that. It's like I don't know, it's that debate about Die Hard, whether this is a Christmas movie just because it takes place at Christmas, that kind of stuff. But it's still a good watch. I recommend it, Chris. I think you'll have a good time with it.
It's on my list.
But Netflix puts out 6,000 movies a year. It feels like a Netflix movie. This is a perfect kind of put it on. I think when did I watch this? Friday night. I think I watched. I think that's actually when it was out. It's the perfect one of those. Just put it on and have a good time with it because there's a lot of action movie inconsistencies. But it's just good time, good fun, and I had a great time with it. So I do recommend Carry On. Very simple and to the point, but it's got a lot of good stuff going for it.
I want to watch it because I like Taron Egerton and it sounds cool. I saw this TikTok with him where he was ranking Christmas movies, and he put this as his number 3 on his.
Who did? Sorry,
Taron Egerton. Sorry.
Interesting.
And he put this as number 3 on his list. So. He also said Batman Returns is not a Christmas movie; it is just a Batman movie.
Oh, geez, don't tell Phil Walsh that.
I already did.
Yeah. Just causing chaos, aren't you?
The chaos finds me. I don't know.
Yes, it does.
Eric did a mini Nolan marathon and rewatched Interstellar and Tenet. I love both of those.
Beautiful.
Who else is watching Dune Prophecy? Are you?
No, but I really want to because I've been hearing very good things about it.
I've heard nothing about it.
Yeah, so I want to get to it. Eric, do you know if it's almost over? Because I might as well wait at this point. I'm just gonna watch it, in 2 or 3 days. But I do want to watch it.
Isn't it
want to
only
see what's
3
up with those
episodes
witches. I have no idea. I feel like it's been on for 6 weeks now, but who knows? I have
feel like
whenever
promos have been.
Whenever the Penguin ended is when it started. So how long has it been since that?
Not long enough. Nah.
Okay, listen, you guys on DC Unlimited with your 5 Ma's out of the new DC Unlimited rating scale is how many Ma's out of
5?
So funny.
How many Ma's out of 5?
How many Ma's out of 5? Yeah, that's right.
But you got to have the.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing the New York enthusiasm.
I don't have the energy right now.
Anthony did a good job with it.
He did. I had to bring it out of him, but he did. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew he had it in him.
Yeah.
What else did you watch?
So I watched just the other night. I watched. So I signed up for Paramount Plus last week because I wanted to watch Yellowstone as it was coming out. I didn't want to wait for it to get on those completely legal streaming sites. So I signed up for Paramount Plus, and they have all the Star Trek stuff on there. Star Trek. Star Trek. Washing clothes. So I put on Star Trek First Contact, which is my favorite Star Trek movie. But it got me thinking about, there is this difference. People talk about the difference between Star Trek and Star Wars. Kind of like the Star Trek fan base, I assume, hates the Star Wars fan base. But it got me thinking about how Star Trek is based, in the future, but it's our future, Earth's future. So in First Contact, they actually go back to Earth and all that kind of stuff. And Star Wars is a galaxy far, far away, and blah, 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 blah. And I wonder about the for you, if it makes any difference about how that works. How Star Trek is our future. They talk about Earth. They talk about Shakespeare. They talk about Moby Dick is a big thing in First Contact. But in Star Wars, obviously, they can't do any of that stuff. Do you have any preference, or does it matter to you about how, not real, but how, the relation, how it relates to you actually living on Earth? Does that make any difference for you?
It doesn't, but I like the idea that Trek is kind of like our world, but like you
Right.
said, the future, whereas Star Wars fits nowhere in our peripheral.
Right.
It's just not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that like Trek is that the actually what's going to happen or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's more I don't know. There's something about it that I think just works. And I haven't
Mm-hmm.
watched a lot of Star Trek, but what I have seen, I do like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I love, and I put on First Contact, and that's something like one of those, warm feeling movies that I can just put on. It just makes me feel good watching it. That's one of those. And I put on the next one that comes after that called Insurrection, which is good but not as good. So yeah, that's something that I'm probably going to keep doing for the next little while, is watching Star Trek movies. It also feels like, I don't know if you do this with if you're watching a Star Wars, if you feel like, I've done this before with other types of movies, but I'm starting First Contact, which is the second movie in the Jean-Luc Picard series, and then I'm going to watch Insurrection, and I'm going to skip over Nemesis, but then I'm going to go back probably and watch the William Shatner one. So I'm not watching them in any kind of order. I don't know if you do that with anything, where you start something at the end or the
Yeah,
middle and you go backwards. Yeah,
I did that with the X-Men movies.
yeah.
I don't know the last time I watched them in order.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, what will happen is I watch like X1, then for whatever reason I'll jump to Days of Future Past, go back to X2, and then I say, well, I mean, maybe X3 wasn't that bad. And I watch that
Yeah,
again.
you trick yourself into watching it.
I don't hate it anymore.
I know.
The other night I was actually considering watching Origins, and then I realized I'm not
Oof,
intoxicated, so
scary thought.
no one needs that. So I do that, especially
Mm-hmm.
with X Men, because there's so many of them. I guess, which is
Right.
similar to Trek. Star Wars, I don't really watch them that often anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very rare that I'll rewatch one of those, especially because I don't. I think the newest stuff has really put like a fatigue
Hmm.
on it for me.
Like the TV show stuff.
The TV stuff, the movies,
Mm.
I'm just not interested right now.
Mm. Yeah, I haven't checked out Skeleton Crew.
No,
No.
no, I don't really have any interest in it. It looked like
Mm.
Star Wars Goonies, which is fine if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I want Ray back or some type of, or like no, Knights of the Old Republic. That's what I would like.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I guess Jude Law is the Sloth character, but he's not Sloth. Was that the character's name, Sloth?
Yeah. You
Huh.
got it.
Yeah. Or if we're talking Monster Squad, he'd be the Frankenstein. I'm not looking for Frankenstein to lead the group of kids.
It's funny thing about Jude Law is Frankenstein and Sloth, but those characters both have speech impediments, and Jude Law is just a normal person in Skeleton Crew, from what I understand.
Is he? I don't know.
Maybe all of a sudden he just says, "Hey, you guys," and grunts like Frankenstein. Who knows?
Maybe that would make me watch it. Do that and give him a lightsaber. I think I might be sold on that.
Yeah, Sloth with a lightsaber. That's here you go.
Universal monsters, but with lightsabers. Let's get that done.
Yeah. um. So that's that. Now I do want to talk about Creature Commandos, but I don't know if you want to talk about that too. I don't know if you wanted to save that for. You already talked about episodes on DC Unlimited, but then there was another one that came out.
I am happy to chat about that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to talk about it now, or we can save it till the end. It's up to you.
Frankenstein leading a group of kids sounds like an unmade Universal Monsters movie. Actually, Zeddy, it is the Monster Squad, which you should check out. It is wonderful. I think it's available on Amazon Prime in 4K. And then you can also check out Wolfman's Got Nards, the wonderful documentary about the making of the film.
Yeah, on and on he'll go, Eddie. On and on he'll go.
I'm just saying. But I would also watch just the Universal Monsters Frankenstein leading kids. I'm sorry, you asked Creature Commandos. Yes, I will talk about
it. Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to save it to the end when we can, talk about your stuff, and then we'll talk about that at the end?
Well, we could do it that way, yeah.
Sure.
Selfless plug.
Yeah. Chris will go be on his deathbed asking if his friends have watched What We Do in the Shadows and Monster Squad. So.
And everybody will reply no to both.
At least to one of them. I think some people have seen Monster Squad.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's where I just die. Tired Duke with a lightsaber, wired Count Dracula with a lightsaber. See, I think we're all getting on the right train of thought here.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I like that idea. I don't have a lightsaber to put in Dracula's hand. Next time. Hey, Brian.
Hey Brian, how's it going? All right, Chris. So what'd you get up to?
I watch more Arcane, which I'm really enjoying. I'm almost
Mm-hmm.
done with the first season. I really am surprised by that one. And
Hmm.
I also started watching Secret Level on Prime.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that 10 seconds after we talked about it, and that
I
pisses me off.
figured that you did.
God darn it.
I figured that you did. But Secret Level is really cool. I don't think it's like some kind of masterpiece or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's fun to watch. The only thing I don't really like about it is that I'm not incredibly familiar with the games the episodes are based on, except for Sifu and Pac-Man so far.
Hmm.
And the Pac-Man episode is not Pac-Man. So Pac-Man, the little yellow ball that eats the ghosts and the fruits. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not what it actually is.
Hmm.
It's this character that kind of looks like I don't know, like a mutant type thing. Have you ever played the game Abe's Odyssey?
No.
Okay, well, he kind of looks like that, and
Hmm.
this yellow ball talks to him and trains him in this dystopian world where there's monsters, and it basically tells him you have to eat and kill, and it trains him. It's really cool, but it has nothing to do with Pac-Man until the end. You kind of get it, like, oh, this is where it comes from. Okay,
Okay.
and it's so unique. They're developing a game based on this. It was revealed
Hmm.
at the Video Game Awards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's Shadow something.
Hmm.
It's gonna be like a Metroidvania type of game. It looks neat, but
Hmm.
that was a cool episode. My favorite so far I've watched is the Sifu episode because I love the Sifu game, so that was by
Yeah.
default. Um, and also from what I've noticed, other than Sifu, you really don't need to know what the games are. Like you don't need to know
Okay.
the ins and outs or the lore or anything. You can just watch the show and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are 10 minutes long, some of them are 20 minutes long.
Hmm.
They're pretty cool.
So
And they don't connect, so you can watch anywhere you want.
yeah. So one of the things that I was worried about was how much I needed to know about these stories, because like it says in like the trailer, it's like, oh, your favorite games. I'm like, I haven't played a single one other than Pac-Man. So it's not like they did the most popular games. It's not like there's a Zelda or a Mario or
There's a
that kind
Mega
of
Man.
thing. Yeah, that's true.
There's Mega
How
Man.
was that one? Is that one good?
It doesn't drop till this week. This week
Oh,
is
okay,
the
that's the
remaining
second part.
episodes.
Oh, okay,
This one
gotcha.
has the episode with Kratos coming this week,
Hmm. Oh
which
yeah,
I think you'll
so
want to watch that one.
I definitely want to.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. But
Hmm.
I think you might like it. I would recommend it if you have any interest in, like, if it sounds interesting to you, check an episode out.
Hmm.
That the Dungeons and Dragons one is really accessible and it's cool. It's got magic and stuff like that, which is always
Hmm.
fun. It's got a dragon.
That's good. Yeah, one of the reasons I was after you told me about it, it's from Tim Miller, who he also did the Netflix anthology series Love, Death, and Robots,
Yeah, same
which
guy.
I'm a huge fan of. So that's why I am interested in watching Secret Level. And now that you got to keep hitting me over the head with that you don't need to be a fan of the actual games. You don't need to know too much
Uh,
about them.
I can tell
It
you
helps in
this.
some cases, but not
Yes,
at
some.
overall. Yeah.
To give you the best example, do you remember that game that Sony put out for like a month? It crashed and burned, and they immediately offered refunds. I want to say it was called like Cascade or something.
Oh, a Concord. Was it Concord?
Concord. Yeah, I was close.
Yeah, yeah.
Concord. There's a Concord episode.
Okay.
That's like you don't need to know anything.
Okay.
Just
No one's played the game.
right. No one even can own the game. I think they even burned the YouTube videos of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's not important. But yeah, let me know what do you think about when you check it out. If you check it out.
Well, I will. Same thing with Love, Death, and Robots. Like, there's nothing better than having 9 minutes of spare time, you'd be like, oh, just
Yeah,
watch this quick episode. Like
yeah,
it's
they're
so
really well
easy that
done.
way. Yeah.
I would suggest the Pac-Man episode for you.
Okay.
It's cool.
Nice.
So yeah, I watched that.
Mhm.
I watched Last Christmas with Amelia Clark and Henry Goldstein, maybe. What is it?
Just
And
hold on. Henry
Gold
Golding.
Golding. Okay, not
Golding.
Goldstein. I was
Goldstein.
I was close. Goldstein sounds fancy too. Henry Golding, who I think would be a great James Bond, by the way. After seeing this, I watched that. Have you seen this movie?
No.
Okay. It from the outset looks like it's just a Christmas rom com that we've seen like 10,000 times, maybe
Yeah.
10,001.
Mm-hmm.
And then it delves into something we've seen 10,000 times, like even more, but it has a slight twist. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it still amounts to the same kind of thing.
Mm.
That's not really a spoiler. I did my best to dance around the subject. Um, I thought it was a comedy. It's not.
Mm.
Or if it is, I didn't get it. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
particularly funny. I thought it
Okay.
was kind of sad and just I don't know, kind of boring. But
Hmm.
it's not something I would watch again. I also don't think I like Amelia Clark very much.
That's an interesting idea as well.
Well, I don't know about you, but if you take the Game of Thrones actors out of Game of Thrones, like
I was thinking
what
about
do
this
you
this
like
week.
of theirs other than
I,
Richard Madden? Because I think Richard Madden
he's the one.
he is the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't count Tyrion because Peter Dinklage is not a Game of Thrones actor. He's we've knew him before.
Correct.
But let's talk about just the cast who made their name in Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
Yeah.
Amelia Clark,
Kit Harington.
Kit Harington,
Mm-hmm.
the one who plays Sansa. I can't think of her name right now.
Me neither. I know Macy Williams is the one
Sophie
who
something
Turner.
Turner. She's the
Yeah.
new Tomb Raider, new Lara
Oh
Croft.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, fair
not really into that, but anyway.
Mm-hmm.
None of these actors have really done anything great to me
Yeah.
outside of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah. I
saying I
remember.
hate him or anything, but
Yeah. Amelia Clark's big one after Game of Thrones was Terminator Genesis. I remember.
which was fine.
It's her. But that was like her. Let's get this, woman in a big action movie, and it's too
Yeah.
bad because the action movie wasn't overly good. But yeah, that's an interesting thought about her. But she was in whatever that Marvel TV show that was nobody talks about.
Secret Invasion.
That's it. Yeah, Secret Invasion that I think people forget came out. I often forget about it. You don't
I
really
didn't
hear
watch
much
it.
about her being in it. Yeah,
No.
that's an interesting idea about those Game of Thrones actors. I love Richard Madden. I like him I think one of my favorite things that he did was a show called Bodyguard. I think it's on Netflix. He's great in that show.
He was
it's
also
a great show.
great in Citadel, which was not a great show. And he's still like, if I could have my cake and eat it too, he'd be Batman and James Bond.
Yeah, that's right.
If I were allowed to have he'd be both.
Yep.
Because I think he's a great actor. He was, he was in the Eternals too, and he was pretty good in that.
Okay.
I thought. So, but yeah, I think he's the only exception of the Game of Thrones actors.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones who made their name. Not talking about like Jason Momoa. Although maybe he does fall into that category.
Yeah.
But I don't like him anyway, so
that's right. It's not a good go for him either.
No, I think I've had enough of the bro.
Definitely had enough of the bro.
Yeah, no more Hawaiian bros. There's also a restaurant, and the restaurant's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, I like the restaurant.
Hawaiian Bros. It's a good name for a restaurant.
It is. It's good. Anyway, though, Last Christmas. Watch it if you want. It's Christmas.
But no Last Christmases for us.
Right. It has a great soundtrack. It's all George Michael music, so I like that.
That does sound good.
I appreciate that. A lot of Wham.
Does it play Last Christmas by Wham?
It does.
Yeah, that's good.
The entire soundtrack is George Michael and Wham. There's nothing else that's played.
Nothing wrong with that.
And the score, of course, but it's mostly the. So yeah, I watched that, and then last night I've seen it many times before, but it's been a while since I watched it straight through. I watched Just Friends, which is also a Christmas movie.
Did we just talk about that last week? Wasn't that the
I
one with?
I probably mentioned it for some reason. I
That's
think
the
I
one with
was
Ryan
I
Reynolds,
w-
right?
yeah, I was referencing something else and I compared it to Just Friends for some reason.
Oh, you were. Is this? Sorry, you go ahead and talk about Just Friends. Yeah, go ahead.
It's good. it was it was fun rewatching because it's been so long since I've seen it. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot. I think I forgot a lot about it, so it was cool. It's also a fun like who's who of Hollywood at the time because you thought
Mm,
this guy like Amy Smart who was in everything at that point, Chris
holy.
Klein who was also in that kind of category. It's
This is
fun.
the one where he's fat, and now he's not anymore.
I mean, if you want to boil it down to that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Last week we were talking about the one where he was the waiter.
Waiting, yes, that's right.
Yeah. And okay, and I got that confused with it. So I have seen Just Friends. Yes, I've seen this one. It's a
It's
good
fun.
one. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of Ryan Reynolds movies now that I think about it.
He has been in a lot of movies, and he's
Yeah,
everywhere.
I think I've seen most of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was a good time, and it is a Christmas movie, so it counts. Christmas cheer continues. I also
Always.
rewatched The Crow, which we've talked about already at length.
Mm. Oh,
Holds up really
so
well.
I saw you tweet about it, and you tweeted about the theater scene. Or why did you watch it again? Just because, or do you
I
want
wanted
to
to watch the opera
experience that?
scene.
That's what I kind of
Well,
figured.
and also I do like the movie, so
Okay.
yeah, I like it enough to rewatch it every now and then. I think
Is
it's
it
pretty
on
cool.
something, or is it?
No, you gotta own it, or
I get you.
I like it enough to rewatch it. I think it's one of the better adaptations, or if you'd even call it an adaptation. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the better Crow stories, is what I will say.
There you go. I
Aside
keep
from
forgetting
some,
about it.
well, I don't think you'll like it anyway. It's not a movie that I can really recommend to people because I don't need their wrath.
God damn you, Chris!
Yeah, I don't need that.
I don't need
If
that
you
in my
want,
life.
if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, don't. I don't.
Fair
You do
enough.
you,
That's right.
but you will miss out on the wonderful performance from FKA Twigs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are my watches, and then Creature Commandos, of course.
Yeah, so Creature Commandos. We're up to 3 episodes now. You talked about 2 episodes on the latest episode of DC Unlimited. Obviously, hot topic. That first episode in particular, and then the controversy has slowly died down a little bit from some stuff that was in the show and then stuff that was outside of the show. But we can just talk about the show in general. So we'll talk about maybe just the first 2 episodes, and then we can talk about the third one overall because you already gave your thoughts about 1 and 2 on DC Unlimited. But I really like the show. I like the Suicide Squad. I like Peacemaker. A lot of people don't like the humor in the show. I think in some cases it's good. In some cases in the first 2 episodes, it's a little forced. I've been saying that word forced a lot lately, and I don't know if that's just because of me or if that's a thing that is in the show. That's like it tries very hard. It's trying very hard to be funny. It's trying
That's just
very
James
hard.
Gunn.
Yeah, so that's true. So I like all the characters. I like the Bride. I like GI Robot. I like Flag. I like Dr. Phosphorus. I can't remember. Is her name Gil Girl? I can't remember what her name is.
No, her name is Anna or Anna.
Anna. We get a little bit of her. I can't wait. I'm actually excited for now that I understand what the show is. That we're going to see a character kind of every episode. I'm interested to see what her story is overall. But anyway, so I like that. I like the animation style, which is something I wasn't sure if I was going to like from the trailers, but I like the animation style. I like the voice acting. I like how where the story is going, which is something I didn't know. Did you know what the story was going to be aside from getting a group together to stop something? Did you know it was going to be Cersei?
I knew she was in it, but I didn't know that's like the first story arc. No.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't know any of that, and I'm glad that I didn't because that was like within the first 30 seconds of the show. Like, oh my God, there's Cersei, and there's
Yeah.
Themyscira. It's like, oh, we're doing Cersei. Like, that's a
We're
huge fill-in.
rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. That and I was talking about this the other day. I was talking about with a friend with First Contact, where within the first 5 minutes of the movie, you're right into the story. There's no preamble, and that's where I felt like, aside from the quick little, here's a character, here's a character, here's a character, and they're on their mission, the story is propelled very fast. And I appreciated that we didn't need, too much about who the what the Suicide Squad is, or what the Creature Commandos were. They didn't need to tell us over and over again, even though they did tell us, but I just felt like it moved a lot faster. I like the idea that they're talking about things that happened in Peacemaker, which is fun. I do like the through line. I do like the sequel nature to this show, which I think is a very cool idea. That Peacemaker. This is the sequel to Peacemaker. Peacemaker is a sequel to the Suicide Squad. Hey Phil. So I liked the first two a lot. I like the Bride stuff. I like it. I like the show a lot. And it made me interested to watch number 3. But number 3 was something I was not expecting, because I wasn't expecting the character focus that they were going to do throughout the season. I thought it was just going to be, here's the team, and we're going to focus on the team pretty much all the way through. And I didn't pick it up that the Bride was kind of the focus of the first 2, almost, I guess. Even though there was some flag and the princess kind of stuff in the first one. But so I wasn't expecting, okay, here's GI Robot and here's his story. So once I got into what the idea of the story was, and this character in particular, I think helps that, we got the story of GI Robot this early in this episode, because he's such a cool character, first of all. And I didn't know. I had no idea who this character was. I'd never read anything from them. I'd never seen anything from them. And he's a very simple character. He was programmed to kill Nazis. That's what he's going to do. And some of the cool stuff in number 3 is he cares about his friends as well, which I thought were very nice moments with the old girl. And I think so I liked all those moments. I liked everything about number 3. I thought number 3 was one of my favorite episodes of TV that I've seen this year. I liked the humor in it. I liked there's a lot of serious stuff in it. I liked everything about number 3. Chris, what'd you think about number 3?
Well, how many Maz out of 5 do you give it?
I give it 5 Maz out of 5 Maz.
5 Maz.
You can do it.
Well, the caffeine from this drink is kicking in a little bit. Yeah, I love episode 3 actually. So episode 1 I was like, okay, this is just a Suicide Squad, like beat for beat almost.
Right.
Especially the way that it started, like, this is fine, I guess. And the humor did throw me a bit, because I don't say I'm tired of James Gunn humor. It's not that. It's that I want something different from the DC universe. And I feel like all we've had is this kind of stuff and the Batman. It's one extreme to the other,
Yeah.
And I know, like, okay, Aquaman, Blue Beetle, Flash, they were all still kind of in this same vein. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite thing. Then the second episode, like, oh, okay, this is cool. I do like this. There were some things I still didn't enjoy, but for the most part, this was cool. But this episode, the third one, is wonderful. I love GI Robot. I need an action figure, and I need all the GI Robot comics I can find. And I want to hunt Nazis with him. That might get us kicked off YouTube. I'm not sure. I'm saying that, but GI Robot is the MVP. I love him. I think I said it after watching the first or second episode that he is gonna be the King Shark of the series.
Right, you did say that, yeah.
And I think that is I think that's gonna happen. And now we know Sergeant Rock is coming. If GI Robot is not in Sergeant Rock, I am rioting. I want to see the live action version of GI Robot. And James Gunn even said, were they to make the jump with him, they already have a technology in mind.
Beautiful.
So Give me GI Robot, and I will
Hmm.
watch this show as long as he is a part of it.
Hmm.
Also, I
Yeah.
mean, the episode itself is just the way it runs, and I think what people didn't expect, myself especially, is the heart in this series already has. And with GI Robot, I think we see that. We see that
Hmm.
heart. And he's
Hmm.
good at that. Don't doubt the man that made us cry over a CGI raccoon. I'm telling
Yep.
you. Phil too says, I don't think anyone was on board with Victor Frankenstein brought on the table. Yeah, no, I was not into either of the sex scenes in the animated series. I want to frame it like that. In the animated series, I was not a fan of the sex scenes.
I just like the Frankenstein one much more than the other one, than
I
the
feel
one
like the
with Frank and the
Frankenstein one
princess.
has more purpose to it,
Mm,
but I also feel like there's a twist coming with the princess. I have a theory,
yeah, 100%.
and that's going to be really weird if it comes out to be true, but we've seen stranger things. Gunn has not confirmed Sergeant Rock for the record. That took me a second, but I got it. That means for the record. FDR.
They'll quit using those fancy young people short forms.
That millennial, well, no, not millennial. What would it be?
Gen Z.
Gen Z? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That funny Gen Z talk. Nothing slaps around here.
That's right.
Um, I thought he did confirm. That's interesting though, because I think the trades confirmed it. That's
Yeah.
weird.
There's been a, yeah. Well, it's weird because he did the Clayface. He confirmed the Clayface one very quickly.
Oh, okay. Phil two says if the theory is Clayface, don't worry, it isn't the case. Okay, I feel better.
So the Sergeant Rock thing is what is one of the interesting things for me, because again, I didn't know GI Robot. I didn't know. I knew he was from the war, but then I didn't know that Sergeant Rock was going to be in the show.
Oh
And
yeah,
so
you
then
didn't.
when I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, the movie, that makes total sense. You
Mm-hmm.
have, and people are wondering, oh, what is the Sergeant Rock character? Why do I care? This is one of the reasons why you can care now. If GI Robot is in it,
I think that is the perfect hook. Yeah, they're gonna hook
yeah.
us with GI Robot, and job well done.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
and on a not much smaller level, I keep thinking about Captain America: The First Avenger,
that's
like
what I was
how
thinking
that
too.
exactly. It's like,
Because I
okay,
would love to
they're
see those flashbacks.
100%. Like they're going to show us, hopefully, just my hope is that they show us what happened to Easy Company in World War II, and then give us the DC villain, whoever is from World War II era, doing the Nazis' bidding, much like Red Skull, kind of deal. So I'm very excited if that is to be true. I hope that's the idea. One of the things I also like Sean Gunn's voice work in this one. When he goes to that Nazi meeting, and then he's looking around, he's like, oh, oh,
Sean Gunn is
he's
GI Robot.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I guess I never paid attention.
So his slow realization that his
Yeah,
friend is a Nazi and has taken him to a Nazi rally, and then he's going to have to kill all these people. And I was laughing at this slow
yeah.
little, oh no, oh man, just I thought that was so well done. And then obviously it's a beautiful scene of him killing Nazis, and then
He
it kind
finally
of,
got what he
yeah,
wanted.
yeah, exactly. And then juxtapose it with the stuff that's happening in the present day. And I love and we talked a lot about there's a lot of humor in this episode, and
Mhm.
kind of like, yeah, he's doing cool things, but I love the idea. I don't love it, but the interesting idea is that he's in the war and he's a hero for killing Nazis. In present day, he is killing Nazis and he gets put in jail for it. I think that's a very interesting idea that Gunn went with in this one, and just the visualization of him sitting in the jail cell with the cobwebs growing all over him, just as the time passes, because he's got nothing to do. I will be sad if we don't see him again, GI Robot, just because of how what these episodes are very short. Like it's like
They
20
are.
minutes or
I think so. They're short.
yeah, but they pack so much into this one with the GI Robot character, and then by the end of the episode, you get the Cersei stuff, and that's where you can see more of her story going, and I think more of the story about what's happening with the princess, and how I don't think everything is to be, is as it should be with her. I think she's got a lot of something secret going on.
Something's there. Yeah, yeah, something's there. But I'm impressed. Really, episode 3. That this one did it for me. Like I said, 1 was okay. 2 was good.
Hmm.
This is the one. This is the
Yeah.
chosen one.
Yeah, looks like I watched the trailer for next week. Did you watch the next time
I
on?
did.
The Weasel episode. Looks like it'll be
Yeah,
fun.
oh, Phil 2 is being ominous.
Phil. Jeez, Phil too.
Just wait until next week. Yeah, the good
Yeah.
stuff is coming. I know. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited, and I've been tempted to ask Phil 2 spoilers, but I just know not to.
Ooh.
Because Phil 2, we mentioned he's seen it, but I know not to
Mhm.
ask the spoilers. I just want to experience them, but it's so tempting because I want
Yeah,
to see what happens.
on the DC Unlimited, you talk about the flash forward scenes that we kind of see with the people, the
Yeah,
superheroes on the spike.
on the
We see that
pikes.
in this one. So I didn't know that was the thing either. I'm like, what is Chris talking about here? So that's an interesting idea. And also, like, and you talked about this on DC Unlimited again, but also there's kind of not the retconning, but the revisionist of the Weasel character.
Yeah,
That it sounds like, and it makes sense that like in the Suicide Squad, it's talking about him killing kids, and then in the cartoon they're saying it again, but it's all allegedly.
it's hearsay.
Exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. So yeah, and Sean Gunn again does the screeching and squealing for Weasel, which is fun.
It's probably a good idea to make it that he didn't eat the children.
I hope so. I think from the trailer, it looks like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, trying
Yeah,
to. So we'll see. But
yeah.
yeah,
I think that works because if you want us to like these heroes, you're probably not going to want him eating kids. I think Frankenstein might be the one that's unlikable at the end of this because I actually don't like Frankenstein just yet.
yeah, the kind of the whiny boyfriend type of character.
Whiny,
Hmm.
weird boyfriend. I don't. Something about it not working for me. I did
Yeah.
like them fighting through the years though. That was cool.
Hmm.
Although I'm not sure why he was trying to fight with her when he wanted to love her. I didn't really understand that.
Hmm.
Whiny
Whiny
stalker.
stalker. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's.
like that's the idea. Like he wanted somebody and he got somebody, but she didn't want him.
I mean,
No,
technically, in Bride of Frankenstein, that's sort of what happens anyway.
right.
Except her and the doctor don't have a relationship.
Sure.
No mustache. I like that. Scene.
Yeah, so that's Creature Commandos. I like every episode, but number 3 is something special from as far as I'm concerned, and I do hope it stays consistent. I do hope we get more characters and more story, and then I'm interested to see where else it goes. Because you had a theory about the Superman trailer and how maybe they haven't released it yet because there was something in Creature Commandos, or maybe Anthony said that on DC Unlimited, or maybe it was
One of
Phil.
us. We've seen that
Yeah,
around though too. So
yeah.
the idea has been around. I don't know if there's any truth to it. Oh,
Hmm.
you'll hear about a Superman trailer that might be coming next week. Yeah, tomorrow's the press event supposedly. Most every scooper is saying it's gonna be with Sonic and
Thursday.
Mufasa. Yeah.
Thursday is what I've been seeing everyone say.
Yeah, and a lot of these same people did say the trailer was going to get a press screening.
Hmm.
So we'll see how it pans out. I would think, yeah, the trailer's coming this week because these are two big releases. We'll see how it goes. If we don't get the trailer this week, I mean, that's fine. We'll get it at some point, I guess. If we could wait
Hmm.
on Matt Reeves to finish the Shawshank Redemption of Batman films, I guess we could wait for the trailer, right?
Yep.
The
Yeah,
Casablanca,
it's
Lawrence
gonna
of
be
Arabia.
it's it's gonna be an interesting week for DC. That's and Phil said it. Then Chris, you mentioned this to me about how you thought it was gonna be theater only. I'm like, well, that's not gonna work. They're just gonna have there's going to be a cam video out there. You can't have that being the
And I
first
will watch
introduction
it.
for people. Well, so would I. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting week. Everybody try and keep their heads on in a cool, calm, and collected way.
Fan anxiety is real,
Yeah,
and
man.
it is just getting in everybody's brain. The fan anxiety is at an all-time high right now for some reason. I don't know if December's making everybody especially anxious or what,
Great, man.
but that's all I need to cake made out of rainbows and smiles, huh?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Maybe Matt Reeves will take 10 years to make that for us.
Yep.
We'll see.
Righty. I think that's good enough for this week, Chris. We've got
That'll do, big.
Yeah. All right. Chris, where can people find you?
You guys can Follow me on Twitter at thatchris70. I have the blue sky. It's I think it's that Chris Evans. I don't think there's a zero because I was able to grab it first. So there's that.
Nice.
I also have the podcast I do with my buddies Phil Walsh and Andy Crusoe over at DC Unlimited Pod. We talk all things DC, except Joker 2. Anthony knows that. It's fun.
He's taking notes. He's got notes.
Yeah,
He's
I got
his notes.
notes not to bring it up.
I imagine you guys with signs, you and Phil, and like just like holding up. Don't talk about Joker 2. Don't talk about Joker 2.
We might have to do that this week. If we do the trailer, we'll see. As always, I'd love if you guys would follow this show at G of the Geeks. Emmet is better with the rest of the plug, so he'll go ahead and take over.
Yeah, you can follow me everywhere at Emmet Davis 7. Please, I appreciate it if everybody's watching right now. Hit that thumbs up on our video and make sure you're following us wherever you get your podcasts, because all you got to do is search for Gathering of the Geeks and you will find us right there. Cookie, thanks so much. Phil, number 1, I appreciate you. Eric, thank you. Phil, number 2, appreciate you as well. Brian, thanks for hopping on. Zeddy, appreciate you. Cookie, I appreciate you for watching as well on this fine Sunday evening. And saying all that, for Chris and I'm Emmet, and we gather on Sundays.
End of session.